Hi, I'm Chef Raphael and welcome to today's episode of Cooking with Chef Raphael. Today I'm going to show you how to make pizza. One, I have used the Barilla Basilico sauce, which has tomato, 100% Pomodoro Italian tomato, and the other is arrabbiata sauce, which has chili. So when it's nice and hot for any pizza, this is what you want to see. Let's get started and you see how simple it is to make. Now today's recipe, I'm doing it two ways, so two different sets of ingredients for the topping. I'll do one with sausage meat and cherry tomato, and with that one I'll use the arrabbiata sauce, which is chili. So this will be a spicy pizza because of the arrabbiata sauce. And then for the other one, I'm using vegetables. I have mushrooms, some colored peppers and an onion, and that one I'll be using the basilico sauce. For the basilico sauce, it has basil and it's a nice tasting sauce, not spicy. And for the dough, it's a very simple recipe. I've done a similar one where I was using, it was a no oven pizza. So you can check on that video to see how you can make the pizza without the oven. But here I have 140 grams of self-raising flour and 140 grams of natural yogurt, as well as some mozzarella cheese, which now will be for the pizza. Whenever you're making pizza, the most important thing is to consider how it's gonna look. Now, for the vegetable ones, I prefer cooking them slightly. Design, you decide to cut this, you can cut them into strips, you can cut them into round shape. So it's up to you. A little bit of oil. Start with the mushroom. I want to slightly cook them, so not too much. Onion, peppers as well. I'll season them as well. Salt and pepper. So the idea is to cook the vegetables until they are slightly crunchy. I mean, they're not as crunchy as when they are raw. I don't want to cook them until they are soft, because when they get to the oven, either way they're going to cook a little bit longer. That's enough. So set this aside and then cook the other ingredients, which is the sausage and cherry tomato. A little bit of oil. This is one sausage that I've just cut them into smaller pieces. I'm reducing the heat because I also don't want it to brown too much. I want it to cook until it's ready, so that when I add the cherry tomatoes, it will be just finishing. So I prefer cutting them when they are raw and then frying them rather than frying the sausage or cooking the sausage and then cutting it. I prefer this method. So they're nice and brown. This will take about a minute and a half as well. The smaller you cut them, the faster they would cook. And then add the cherry tomatoes. A little bit of black pepper and salt, the tomatoes, and then the idea now is to cook the cherry tomatoes until they are slightly cooked or start wilting. Now if you don't have cherry tomatoes, you can also use regular tomatoes, cut them into big chunks, maybe same size as these cherry tomatoes. So when it's ready, place them on a plate. Again, you want them to cool down slightly, be able to put them on top of the pizza. So that's ready. I'll put this aside and now I'll start working on the dough. So what I love about this dough is that it's an instant dough. No time for waiting for it to proof or to rise. Self-raising flour and plain yogurt. Now, you do not want to overmix this dough. Just mix it until it's completely combined. Basically, it's not sticky to your hands or the surface. Now, if you don't have self-raising flour, you can also use 140 grams of all-purpose flour and 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder. So the idea is to make sure that the flour is fully combined into the dough. And again, it's not sticky. So that's good. Again, don't overwork it. Now I want to divide it into two. And then I'm going to roll it into a round shape. So you're rolling it to the size of the pan, which is a 24 centimeter pan. In case you are making double the quantity and you have a bigger pan, you can make the whole dough be one pizza. So the idea is to cook the dough slightly. So this is how you want it. Slightly browned, and then turn it to cook on the other side. I haven't put any oil, so you don't need to put oil when you're pre-cooking it. So this is the way they should look, slightly browned. Good thing it's already almost cooked, and this is something you can actually store in you can freeze them, you can cook them in advance, even stack them, and then when they are completely cool, store them in the freezer. And I'm looking for the side that is not too brown, which is this side. And then this is the basilico sauce. So 2 tablespoons should be enough. You don't want to put too much of the tomato sauce. Again, Barilla sauce is ready to eat. It's perfect, especially even for a pizza like this. I usually like leaving the edges to have edge without the sauce, so that when it's cooked it will be nice and crispy on the outside. And then I'll add the vegetable ones. Sprinkle top. It is to have it even. There's a nice color contrast, the red, yellow, green. And then to top it up, to finish it up, I add some mozzarella cheese. So this is diced, you can also grate it. Basically, you just want it into small pieces. Going to put an extra layer of cheese, and the cheese you put it on top of the toppings, because it will melt and cover the whole pizza. So that's it. That's the vegetarian one. Let me work on the other one. This one will be spicy, so I'll use the arrabbiata sauce, which has chili, about 2 tablespoons. Now, toppings. good idea to try and now put them in a design. Then topping of the pizza, of the mozzarella. Remember the Barilla sauces have 100% Italian tomatoes, which you can't even, whenever you're making your own, the flavor will not be the same as what you get in any of the tomato sauces from Barilla. So they are ready. Only left is baking. Now I've already preheated my oven to 240 degrees, which is the highest. 250 is the highest that the oven can go. Basically set your oven to the highest heat, because what we need now is, because the dough is slightly cooked, everything is cooked, all we need is for the cheese to melt and cover the surface of the pizza, and that one you need high heat. The reason why I actually left the edges like this is because I will take some, I'm using olive oil, but you can use any other oil that you may have, but olive oil will be nicer. Apply on the sides like that. It will actually make the sides not be crispy or too crispy, or basically too dry. Serve it either on a board like this or on a plate individually. This portion I think is enough for one person. So that's it. It's as simple as that. Remember, today I was using the Barilla basilico sauce and the arrabbiata sauce. They also have Napolitana sauce. So any of the sauces, the tomato-based sauces, you can use it on a pizza. It's a simple recipe. I hope you'll enjoy it. And until next time, I'm signing out. I'm Chef Raphael.